In this problem, I would like to see what the difference is between the nominal and the effective annual rate. Instead of saying nominal, we can also say quoted or stated rate. Banks always call it the APR, annual percentage rate. So let's say we are talking about credit cards. Let's go to the Wells Fargo website, loans and credit, credit cards. Let's see, find a credit card. Let's just pick something. All cards. How about this one? Wells Fargo Visa signature card. So let's view the details and see what it says. Let's click on the terms and conditions. And here it says the APR will be between 13.4% to 27.24%, which is basically determined by your credit worthiness, how high your credit score is. So the lower your credit score, the higher the rate that the bank will charge to compensate for the higher chance that you may not pay the money back. So 27.24% per year. That's the APR, the quoted, the stated, the nominal rate. It all means the same thing. Now, how will we calculate your balance? Average daily balance is the method that Wells Fargo uses. This tells us that the interest compounded every day. Okay, so what did we have? We had the nominal rate of 27.24% per year. So we are basically assuming the worst case scenario, right? 27.24% per year. And we know that the interest compounds daily. So how many days it is in a year? 365 times per year. Okay? And what we want to find is, so let's say you have a balance. It doesn't matter how much, $100, $1,000, $1. If you don't pay that balance for 1 year, so let's say you have $100 balance, are you going to be asked to pay $127.24 if you wait a year? No, it's going to be much more than that, because what happens is they calculate the interest daily that you owe them. So let's say tomorrow they will add 1/365th of what you had the day before, in addition to what you had the day before. So now you owe them a little bit more, right? And then on the second day, they add another 1/365th of what you had the day before, which was already a slightly higher number, right? And it keeps going like that every day. So every day, what you owe back to Wells Fargo is an increasing amount of money. And so when you reach end of the year, after 365 days, you owe them a lot, and it's going to be more than 27.24%. So let's see how much it's actually going to be. Let's turn the calculator on. Because we are working with small numbers, let's increase the decimals. Second format, let's increase it to 6. 6, enter. Now, to find the effective rate, you press second 2. Our nominal rate is 27.24% per year. You hit enter, then either up or down arrow key. Stop, keep pressing and stop until you see C over Y, which is compounding per year. How many times a year interest gets calculated. The default is 1. We want to change it to 365 times per year. So I press 365, enter. And then for the second time, press either the up or down arrow key and stop when you see effective on the display. Hit compute. 31.297874%. So approximately 31.3%. Right? So 31.3% is the answer. Right? And you see how it's pretty different from what the bank quotes you. But remember, the nominal rate, the quoted rate, is the only one that the bank is required to report to consumers by law. The bank doesn't need to report the true or the effective annual rate on any unpaid balance, which is always going to be higher when the interest compounds more than once per year.